You know what, Bert? Are you on the phone?
Yeah,
Can you turn the orientation and see what happens?
yeah. Let's try.
Okay. I'm just, yeah, okay, there we go.
There we are. Okay, let me go up a little bit.
I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
if we do side by side screen and it was just this little tiny sliver, it was like,
Yeah.
he gonna be mad in post too.
No, I'll be all right.
This is post. We live with it, you know. Uh, I don't even know why I didn't think to check that 3 minutes ago when I logged in, but
You never, you never know. Well, especially with computers, something happens all the time.
you know things.
Yeah. You don't hear my dogs bark in the background, do you?
No, not at all.
Okay, good,
That's a
good.
good mic.
Yep.
That's a real good mic. We just spitballing already, y'all. It's already past 6 o'clock on a Tuesday, so you know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Your Comedy Bestie with your homegirl Erica Switzer. This is episode 22. Guest starring the good homie Bert Young. Everybody, welcome
So,
Bert.
what's up, y'all? How y'all feeling tonight? Y'all doing good?
All right, all right, all right. So Bert, can you? I was so glad to run into you on Sunday.
I was too. I was happy to see you. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute. I've been a busy chick, but I mean, Sunday was just exquisite.
Yes. I felt that same way too, man. I felt everybody on stage was tore up on Sunday. Everybody was great. And when you do like a taping like that, you see people you haven't seen in forever. And then the person that's taping, you get to see their friends and family too. It's almost like a reunion rather than a tape.
In a lot of ways. It was a good mixture of both, but it
Yeah.
was definitely a joyous reunion for the good friends, family, colleagues of the one and only KB Marion, y'all. So Sunday, mind you, this is first full weekend of football Sunday. Like we were in a packed out room at the Comedy Vault for KB Marion's taping of her debut comedy album Simply, and it was simply fantastic. Chloe Michaela, very funny, super funny sweetheart from the Chicago area, and one of the stars of My Best Friend is Black at the Lincoln Lodge. Was the host, and she set it off perfectly. Her energy was off the wall. And Chloe is one of those comics where every time I see her, she just gets better and better and better.
Yes. That's the first time I've seen her was last night.
Hey, you know, young sis goes ham in Chicago. She's gone ham on the road. She's done quite a few festivals, including the Before You Die Festival in Alaska. Um, we were hanging out and kicking it in New York City for Black Women in Comedy Laugh Fest a couple of years ago. So it's been awesome to continue to watch Chloe grow. And then the good homie Just Jeff was featuring. And you know what, Bert? What did you think? What did you think about Jeff?
Oh man, you know what? It's been I think like quite a bit since I seen him live in front of a live audience. But man, the fact that he's grown so much from the last time that I've seen him. And it seemed like all his transitions were on point. He had a really good flow in terms of how it is. His callbacks were really good. I mean, man, I think he's gotten like 60, 70% better than the last time I saw him. The last time I saw him, I thought he was good. But
Uh,
this time he knocked it out. He knocked out the freaking park, man.
You know, this is my podcast, and the titular pause titular well, and whatever. The title indicates your comedy bestie. My real life comedy bestie is the one and only Just Jeff. I had to go ahead and let Bert start because, like, you heard the man. You heard the man. The dedication that Jeff puts in shows. And I even had to tell him this is top three of his performances for me personally.
Yeah,
Uh,
Sunday it was top notch. It really was. You
yeah,
could you could put that anywhere on any corner, it's gonna get some response.
anywhere. So when we were
Mhm.
coming up, when Jeff and I were coming up, we noticed that the line for the show was wrapped around the comedy vault, and going as stars through to the back way in the alley, and there's folks crowding around, and KB had come out to give some hugs, and there was a group of people standing in the parking lot. I heard this lady go, "Oh, I wonder who they're going to see." And I'm like, KB Marion, this lady right here, her, right here is her. And the way KB cut up, man, listen. And again, talking about folks getting better and better and better and better and better. This is somebody who was already top notch to begin with.
Yes.
A through and through pro. And the fact that on Saturday night, the night before the show, KB and I had, Jeff and I had KB as one of the um, featured comedians for our It Ain't My Fault First Fridays at the Bit Theater show. We had our crossover with our buddies at Still Not Friday at Two Brothers Roundhouse, and KB is one of the producers. And when I tell you, KB threw down and did some jokes I hadn't heard, and I was like, man, woo, we're getting ready for a treat tomorrow night. And she delivered through and through 55 minutes of just
Man,
beating us in the forehead with the good jokes.
man. And the pacing was perfect. I thought her pacing was just immaculate. Exactly. Chef's kiss. Her pacing was really good. I remember when I first started and I saw KB. KB's one of those comedians where I'm like, okay, I gotta get better. I gotta do better. Like you don't down yourself, but you're like, man, I gotta do better. I really do.
KB is one of the when people ask, and I don't like doing comparisons unnecessarily, but
Yeah,
when I tell you KB is our generation's millennial stoner Wanda Sykes, I mean it. Her
I agree.
observations are so just dead on hilarious. She speaks the truth to power hilariously. Um, like you said, her pacing was immaculate. That's how much she cares about the craft through and through. And just what a top notch show. So when Simply comes out, you guys better make sure you get on every which platform it's on, download it, rent it, get it from your baby mama, and
Yeah,
pass the Netflix password around, whatever you got to do to watch it.
yeah, because you guys ain't gonna regret it. I mean, and I don't come out of my house on football, especially the first week, for nothing. Nothing. I even put a post on Facebook. If it's not comedy related or football related, do not call me. Do not call me with no mess. But when I saw that was on the first weekend of the NFL season, I was like, man, bump these games. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I was actually probably more excited than she was to go than for her to perform. I was geeked up, man.
We were keyed up. We were keyed up back there.
Yeah.
I was trying to record a little video as I was coming through, and on one of them, Jeff was like, "Ma'am, are you doing a WWE announcement?" So I was that excited. I channeled my Holocaust. I was, oh, it's Sunday afternoon, and we got a great one for you here in downtown Batavia with the one and only, the legendary KB Marion. I was going in, man. I was so excited.
I was all in. And this is about an hour and a half drive for me. I was geeked up from when I left my house all the way up until I got home. That's how excited I was. That's probably, I would say, shows that I've went to as a comic, like in the scene and not performed at. Definitely in my top five, maybe my top three.
We ain't bullshitting. We ain't
Yeah,
bullshitting.
we really not. I mean, it does. It seems like usually I don't hype up nobody stuff like this, but that is well worth it. I mean, that show was a killer. That show was a killer.
And on top of that, there is a whole row of killer comics sitting in the back of the show, watching it the
Yes,
entire time, cracking up the entire time, just paying homage and respect to all that hard work that all three of them put up. And it was just awesome to watch and be in the room and be present with that just incredible energy. So shout out to the great KB Marion. KB,
yeah,
you did your big one. You did
yeah.
your big one, big sis, and I
You
did.
you put your foot in that one. You really did. Man, I'd hate to come up with another hour to try and do another special, but she'll do it.
Hey, if I just can't wait to see what she got from here.
Yes,
And
I'm
it's
super excited
legendary.
about that too.
It's legendary cuts within that 55-minute body of work that hit no matter what. There's one particular joke in there, which there's about three particular jokes in there that I could think of right now that are undefeated and undefeatable.
Yes, I would say yeah. There is a couple of bits that are on there. I'm not gonna give it away when she talks about her brother, and that one, oh my, that one had me dying laughing. Oh my god. Yeah, it was a couple stories that she had because her storytelling is really good. And I pride myself as being a good storyteller, but man, the way that she paced that and went in with the special too, it didn't seem rushed. And that's what I like about albums too, is that you get to see people work their own pace. You're not giving them a time frame and saying, okay, here it is. Even though they are working from a time frame, it's not like you're giving them only 10 minutes. They're getting their time to pace it the way they want to. And that's what I really appreciate about watching people like take things and do special.
Absolutely. Just just sitting back and watching her become the maestro and paint with all those beautiful brushstrokes. It was so
Yeah.
much fun, y'all. So again, when it comes out, make sure you be on the lookout for it. KB Marion simply get it.
Yes, please do. If it's on any platforms, buy it. If it's gonna be on YouTube, watch it. Share it, please. Because we all need our stuff shared. And yeah, you guys won't regret it.
We live in a world that truly has an attention economy, and some of us can't afford to pay the hundreds of thousands of dollars it costs to get the eyes of lots of locals and folks around. Um,
Man.
this is one of those times where you heard what Bert said. Share, spread the word. Word of mouth still does a lot of work and helps, especially in these wild, wild comedy streets where everybody and their mama thinks they're a comedian. And when we're talking about bona fide stand up comedians,
Yeah.
set up punch.
Because these YouTube comedians ain't doing it for me. I I like it's a different platform, but stand up is where my heart is, you know. And there's some people that can do both. There's quite a few people that can do both stand up. There's and YouTube, but man, I mean, if you get to see a real pure stand up special, there's nothing like it. There's really nothing like it. You up there by yourself, and you have to play the audience like an instrument, just like everyone else. And only stand up comedians can do that.
it's live, it's real, it's interactive. It's not interactive in the way that some people want it to be. And I can't wait for crowds to get reinforced to get back to that.
Yeah, we gonna have to tell people to shut the f up. doing shows now. Cause man, well, it's I think people in the audience are in tune now because of how you see things on like TikTok and other social media that hijack shows. It ain't about you, man. You just sit back and relax the show. There's been countless times where people will come in and they be like, "Man, I can't wait to get up there and heckle you." No, sir, you ain't gonna heckle me. I don't care if I see you at work or not. I will make a fool out of you because you're not there. I'm not there for you. I'm there for the other people to watch a show, to watch the performance. It's not like you go to the circus and be like, "Man, when I get on that unicycle, man, I'm too screwed up when I come out here." No, they want you, man. It's about the show. Just sit there and relax and enjoy the show. Have a couple drinks. Everybody wants to be a part of the show now because of like Matt Rife and all these other people. Shut the F up and relax and enjoy the show. Ain't nobody come here to see you.
Ain't nobody coming here to see you, Otis.
Exactly.
It's a doggone shame. I can remember it was even a time where I was hosting the SNF. And, we in Two Brothers Roundhouse. It's a big music style hall that we, do the jokes in. And there's this lady and her man, and they were on a little dating date because they had their beers and told and they were all cuddled up. They were in the back of the room, and they sitting there like they were in front of their sofa. I'm just like,
Yeah.
man,
Having full conversations and
like, baby, I'll talk to you after the show. Let's move on. Having to do crowd control is more than a notion. I feel like comics that have to do it should get hazard pay.
man, you are not lying. I when I host a show, I always try and bring it up front. There's always like 3 or 4 groans, like, oh, yeah, you paid to come to see me. Now shut up and let us work. I think if I ask you a question, that's a different thing. But don't insert yourself into the show because you're gonna mess people's rhythms up. Then they have to go back to where they were, and it wasn't quite funny as it is. Just shut up and watch the show. It's not that hard. It really isn't.
You know, I want to say that especially within the past 5 years, uh, that loneliness epidemic shows in weird and crazy ways. And I don't think a comedy show is where that needs to show up. Like this is not phone a friend. This is not
For
when
your
you.
therapy session, like what we do.
This is not cheap therapy for you as an audience member. No, like if we taking you there on a ride and something's triggered, shut the fuck up and ride.
Exactly. And they interrupted our therapy session. That's supposed to be our therapy session that we getting paid for. And you interrupting it and hijacking it and making it your own. Man, I ain't about that. Just be quiet and watch the show. That's why you're lonely in the first place. You don't know how to shut up.
You see, on top of that, see, that's why you gotta say this is a special kind of person's therapy. Because remember back in the early 80s when we were coming up, they tore down all the mental institutions. And so all them folks that should have been paying an occasional trip to Aunt Susie and them, um, some of them went ahead and just procreated and had babies, and they just went ahead and grabbed mics instead. We have to remind people that it's not about just getting up there, grabbing the mic, and saying whatever comes to mind. That comes up in some doggone open mics when you see folks fumbling the bag horrifically. Um, it's a craft. There's an art. There's an art form.
Yeah, you got
By the 60s or so, when Lenny Bruce and Robert Klein and George Carlin and them are, and Richard Pryor and them are, Dick Gregory and them are developing incredible stand-up routines. Go back to the source of
yeah.
stand-up history before you come up there and ruin it.
No, I agree. I think that I live actually the town that I'm in has like one of the largest mental health facilities in the world. And I honestly think that some of those people have gotten out and made it with some of the other people who were out before. And and make a whole nother type of person. I honestly do. But yeah, it's a craft, it's work. I mean, I didn't get on stage until year 1.5. That was year 1.5 was my first showcase.
Mm.
Like I would go to an open mic out in Orland Park and I would just work on stuff, and it it took me a year to get 5 minutes, and that wasn't. Now I look at it, it wasn't even a quality 5 minutes. It had a bit here. I probably had 2 minutes out of that five that was decent. It wasn't until I started going around and going to other mics that I started to develop and get a little bit better. But yeah, it's a craft, man. It's work. It's a job.
Absolutely. And so I don't know how to pivot from there. Do you, well, how about this? Especially given the past 5 years, do you feel like social media has been a blessing or a curse to stand up comedy?
Um, I would say a little bit of both. I think it's a double edged sword. I think there's a lot of people who've gotten exposure that wouldn't have gotten exposure. And at the same time, there's a lot of people that have gotten exposure that shouldn't have got exposure. Like it's a double-edged sword. When I see someone like really talented that's been working at it for year 5 to year 15, and they're starting to get their just due from posting their clips, that's great. And I think it's good too because not only are you posting your stand-up clips, you can post other things too to show different parts of your life because everybody wants to see what you're doing outside of comedy now and in your own personal life, which it makes you a more well-rounded representation of yourself. But it's bad because I think a lot of hacks, and I'll say hacks, a lot of hacks have gotten really famous off of social media, and where it's just they kind of do their TikTok stuff and they do the latest trends and they go off the latest sounds. And these people are actually getting deals at comedy clubs that you and I would like to get deals with. And because they have such a large following, they're kind of skipping over the traditional stand-up comedians and going with these social media influencers, which is good or bad. If I own a club, I'm trying to make money. If I can get people in there, I'm trying to get people in there. But at the same time, when you put them up on the same type of environment as someone that's a trained stand-up comedian, it doesn't bode well because they don't have things like timing. They don't have things like pacing. They can just go up there and tell stories. So there has to be a happy medium to each one.
I would agree. I would agree for sure. And I'm glad we even got into that. Um, can you give folks a little bit of background about how you got started?
Yeah, I got started off a bad day of work.
Hmm.
Man, I was getting cussed out, called everything left and right, and I don't know what triggered my head to go, okay, I wanted to try stand up today, but it was so weird because it was something like I gotta do this before the night's over with. And I've never had an urge like that in my life. I worked in an insurance company doing customer service. So I went on Bad Slava and happened to find a open mic that was about 40 minutes away from me. And I wrote a collection of some of the worst jokes in the world. I mean, and I did those jokes and I got just and grunts and groans. And I came there with my wife the first night and I was so nervous. I almost turned around and go back. I'm like, what am I doing here? Hold on here. I'm going to get in front of a mic in front of people. And like I got so sick, and when I signed my name on the list, I got even sicker.
Wee,
and
double
I and I read these terrible jokes from, and when I told it, it was something liberating about it. Even though I know the jokes weren't hitting, it felt good to be up there. And I
mm,
was always one of those people. I like to tell stories. I wouldn't say I would probably say I didn't want to be the center of attention, but I like to party, joke and everything else. And when I told those jokes, I got the best feeling in the world. It was just a rush of like adrenaline and validation and everything else all at once. And I always wanted to try stand up. But when I did it, it felt great. And from like that point on, I said, there's no way I could go back to not doing it.
Mm, way to say that. I mean, you got bit by the bug.
I did. And so I went every Wednesday for like almost a year and just, I didn't even know there was other open mics until like a year in. Because some guy was like, well, we're going to go to this mic. I was like, hold on, there's more? And then
Oh,
like, yeah, we're going to go here. I think it was, I went to Danny Jackson, I think with the Riddles. I think afterwards or sometime during the week. So I kept going to more mics and start working on things and waking up in the middle of the night and writing. And like you said, I caught the book.
mhm, mhm. I mean, that rush of, and that's the perfect combination that you mentioned, adrenaline and validation. That's
Yes.
intoxicating.
Yeah, it's nothing like it. It is nothing like it. It's not a drug like it. It's not a drink like it. It's a feeling that, and to be honest with you, that's a feeling that millions of people will never feel that we feel when we go on stage. It are those two feelings, and it was probably the most amazing feeling I've ever had. And I still get that feeling when I do it 10 years later.
Oh,
So that's something I never want to give up. I never want to. I'm gonna be 70 years old out here telling jokes.
okay now.
So yeah, I'm gonna be old, man. I'm gonna be old, one of these old cats, man. People gonna wish I would sit down somewhere, but I can't get that feeling like that no more. You can't buy it.
You can't. You can't. And I can see it. I can see it though. I'll be here for the ride. I'm gonna watch. We're gonna be like Claude and Ray in the back of the club just talking mess. Hey, how you doing, Bert? Mm-hmm. Surely is funny around here, ain't that? Surely. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward. I mean, you see this little one gray hair that really want to stay high today. So,
Oh man, I got them all in my. I used to color it for like years. I would color my hair, and then all of a sudden, like it burned my chin. I was like, why am I coloring this? Everybody knows how old I am. What am I doing? So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it hang out, man. I mean, it is what it is. Some people like the grays. I like how it looks now gray. It took me a very long time to get accustomed to it.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
trying to.
That's part of that confidence that we gotta have too as comedians standing up there. Um, where do you draw your confidence from?
Um, I wouldn't say I'm a confident person by nature. I think my confidence in terms of when I get on stage is the amount of times that I've done it. Like I know my material, I know how to present it, and I know how to throw new things here, there, even after like a bad show. Like I'm like, okay, I can't wait to get on stage the day after to go ahead and get that validation just to myself. Like the confidence just comes in knowing your material, knowing who I am, knowing how I'm growing as a person as I do it. Because my material from now is definitely different than what it was 10 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago.
Mm, nice. Well, yeah, that's your own personal growth as a testament to your body of work. It's pretty powerful.
Man, trying to.
Cause
When
I
I'm out there, when I'm out there at 70, I'm still trying to be joking about the pins and my caretakers and everything else. So it's still gonna grow. My comedy's still gonna grow. It's gonna be a lot different than it is now.
okay, but there is definitely something there. There is this like timeless skill of wit and cleverness that I think just gets added on to. It reminds me of being little and asking my mama and daddy, like, what's the smartest you can be? Like, what's the biggest degree you can get? And then it's like, when it comes to stand up, it's like, ain't no degree. It's just how long you stay in it, how wise you get from it, how sharply defined your perspective and POV becomes from being in it.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And you know what I notice is that everybody doesn't have that wit and that timing. And I didn't realize that until I got in the stand-up comedy.
Hmm.
Like everyone doesn't have that. I mean, it's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift that you have to continuously work.
Yeah.
But like when you're in the workplace, if you're at family events, like people, I think our sense of humor is definitely screwed a little bit differently than someone that doesn't do stand up. Because I think that like everyone will just start laughing like that ain't funny. He didn't even time that right. And it took him a while to like you're analyzing what everyone says. And it's one of the most annoying things in the world. And but it's only annoying to you because you're like, okay, that's supposed to be funny, but I didn't find it funny.
It's not like we purposely go out and seek to be critics of other folks' stuff. It's just once you see how the sausage is made, when you see other people making the sausage and you taste it, it's like, I'd put more fennel in that one, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like you don't want to be a jerk and be like, okay, I didn't think that was funny because this, and that. You ain't gonna run down the list of five on how they could have did it better. But like in your head, you start to do that, and it's annoying to me because I was like, okay, I need to really just be in the moment and be like everyone else and enjoy it because it was funny. But something in me, I don't know what it is. I'd be like, no, that wasn't that funny. That was okay. And then everyone else is just busting up. And you're just like, that was just all right. But you gotta remember, they're not performing. They're just living life.
Yeah. It's different when you get on this side of it and you've gone through countless hours of strenuous open mic sets. Uh, and I'm just I'm my own included. I can talk about my own bombs. I can talk about my own times of getting up there grabbing that mic where I should have been like, yeah, I should have just stayed home. If I, and if I had those moments. But there's something about going through it to get through it and understanding. There's something about getting on that mic and testing the waters out to say, okay, I've been trying to get this thought out. Let me see how it sounds outside my head. Um, it's a process. It's not the people that show up at open mics that I dislike the most are the edge lords that just want to get up there and shock that and say bad words into mics. I'm like,
I
you
don't
go person.
I don't get that neither. I don't get it neither. People that just say the most offensive things in the world. You can even be offensive. Just be clever. And
Hmm.
they even fail to do that. I've seen people where it's just like, why would you want to be offensive and not have a punchline? It's open mic.
Absolutely. If you must, at least try to put some craft to it.
Yes.
I mean, try to sculpt your shit sandwich. try to mold it into something. Um,
Yeah, at least do something with it. You can't just shout out slurs and epithets and then think that's funny. Man, this ain't 1980. What are you doing? Man, I went to a mic. This was maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, and it was I don't know if it's just like younger comics or whatever else, but it was a lot of young comics that were just calling like saying slurs and whatnot, and just inappropriate stuff, which I don't think in comedy anything is inappropriate. If you can make it funny, it works. But I was like, you can't just yell it. You have to put a joke into it at least.
absolutely.
I didn't even go up. After about the fifth one, I think I was like 12. After about the fifth show, I was like, you know what, bump this. And I
Mm.
just like walked off. I was like, I just drove an hour and 30 minutes not to do any of this.
You don't have to say what venue it was, but what town was it in?
Chicago, this is
Okay.
the city.
Okay. I'm not surprised. I'm
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, these young kids, man. And I mean, I don't want to be one of them guys that's like, back in my day, because I'm, I'm not, I don't consider myself old, but I mean, put some craft into it. Try and work a joke in there a little bit. Then the audience can at least understand, hey, he's trying to do something with this. You can't just yell it and then expect laughs. And they were waiting on like laugh breaks and stuff. I'm like, no, don't work like that. It's gotta be funny to get lab breaks. It's so funny. Like, what are you doing?
Legend has it they're still waiting today.
Oh, and they're still gonna try it for 2 or 3 more years. But just, I mean, if you're gonna say something where it's gonna be like, man, and you're in my mind, if I'm gonna say something that I'm thinking, man, this might shock some people, I might want to tell a joke at the end. At least put something on it. I'm not just gonna say it and then like stop and then hope for the best. That's what some of these kids do, man. And I hate to call them kids; these are adults, but they're younger than I.
Hmm. But when it's done like that, it's childish behavior. That's what it is.
Yes, it's like poo poo and pee pee jokes. Yeah, they're funny, but it's just not a lot of craft working into that. We are professional anglers.
Absolutely. And the more you can work those angles and apply them and understand them, yeah, there you go. You get rewarded for it.
You ain't lying.
Um, because Lord knows I have been witness to mics where you get a longer allotment of time, which is a blessing enough because people don't understand. Sometimes you in a line wrapping around the building for 3 minutes. Not I mean, occasionally, rarely, it's happened. Um, but like you want to be respectful of your time, other people's time. Folks are actually trying to work a craft to make money, especially if those professionals come in and they want to run some time for other people before a weekend. Be considerate. Um, I just my 2 cents, where I would implore people to be considerate to the craft.
Yeah, I agree. Don't go up there wasting. There's people who drive longer than I do to go to some mics. To do 5 minutes. Just be respectful. If you're not, even if you're gonna try something that you don't think it works. Hey, I tried it, it didn't work. But just to be edgy, I never understood that.
Right, definitely. There's other places for that, like bowling leagues.
Yeah. Bowling leagues, construction work, things like that. You can be as wild as you want there. There's tons of places. Bars, pool halls. Don't do it at no open mic where people are trying to work.
Because even then, you got to be a skilled asshole to make it through all that.
Yes. And then to think about it, think about all of let's say you go to a 20 mic that has 25 people. Let's say you're at 16. I would say probably 2/3 of those people are just working on new stuff. So it's not polished. So you done already sat through stuff that are 66% probably not completed. And then you go up and not doing anything at all. Mm-mm. And that's what kills me too. When you go to open mics, there's people that are like, well, I just came up here, I really didn't have nothing, but I think I'm just gonna get this off my chest. Man, go to a therapist. Nobody got time for that shit. What you doing?
Get actual help.
Yeah, get real help. Your insurance will cover it. Get real help. But don't sit there and waste my time after I done drove so many odd miles just to get something off your chest. Get some friends. What are you doing? Yeah, wasting my time talking about, well, this happened and my mom got mad at me the other day. Man, if I could Sandman sim some people, I definitely would. Okay, man, that's enough with you. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Just sit outside. We'll talk about it after my set.
For real. If we could just get a big old hook
Yeah,
off
come on.
the side of every open mic.
Bring it in. That's what we need, an open mic hugger. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I never brought that idea up. Some people don't know how to take some stuff. So never mind. Scratch that. That's better.
Everybody can sign consent forms before the mic. How about that?
Okay, that'll work. Yeah, we can do that. Cause I'm a big huggy person, but I know some people in the climate that we are in now do not like hugs, and I definitely can understand that too.
They need to break that demon with a hug. That's what they need.
You know what? I'm a big hugger. I love to hug people, and it's it just it to me. I think that's the biggest sign of respect is to give somebody a close embrace for what? A second and then let it go. And
Absolutely.
some people need that. Some people like that touch. Some people need that touch. I can understand people don't want to do it, but me, that's me personally. I'm a hugger. That's male and female.
Nice. I appreciate that. You do give very nice hugs. And
Thank you. I appreciate that.
so, hey, y'all just remember that wonderful 80s Genesis song, Physical Touch. Just think about Phil Collins in your ear every time as you embrace your fellow human being and let that heart beat next to your heartbeat and feel some real humanity.
They'll
Don't
make music
forget
like that
about
again.
your- Yeah, we need
Yeah,
that.
hugs in.
Bam,
I'm closed off.
bam, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm with me with my little silly self. Um, so you've been doing this for 10 years. Congratulations on making it to the double digits.
Oh, thank you.
And congratulations on the game plan of doing it into your further double digits because I see you. Hey, when I was thinking about it, I was like, what could I do that's a skill that I could take anywhere that I could get free food, drinks, room and board, a little bit of money, do it into my late years, make people smile, and still be all sweet and sassy as I want to be. And it was, that's one of those things that struck me. So I feel you there. I can't wait until I retire on my ranch in Colorado off of my comedy money. I'm looking forward to that.
Now, this decade, next decade, from 40 to 50, my second decade, this is about making money. Now I need to make money from this. Because this going to work garbage is not working for me.
You hear the man.
It's not
And
working.
we're gonna get in. We're gonna get deeper into this. So, Bert, who are some of your comedic inspirations?
Um, I loved Rodney Dangerfield growing up. Um, I'm not a one-liner comedian, but the way that he just threw them out and his timing was just insane. I was, of course, like actually every other black comic my age, probably like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Bob Newhart. I was a big Bob Newhart fan. I love Bob Newhart. Um, Richard Jenny. I was a big Richard Jenny fan.
Nice.
Paula Poundstone, Margaret Cho. Oh, huge Margaret Cho fan. The first chess was Margaret with my own money from my own job. Notorious CHO. That was the very first VHS I bought.
Nice. That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
You bought that one. That's dope. That is
Yeah, usually I could go on HBO and just dub it, but you know what? I want to give Margaret her money
okay now.
because she was special. I don't think that people get how special Margaret Cho really was and what a unicorn she was at the time. She
Mhm.
was really the first Asian American woman that I've seen starring in something, and that was a big deal back then in the 90s. What was it? All American Girl was the name of the sitcom.
And it was so doggone funny.
Yes.
And the
And
grandma was so doggone funny. Mr. Fisherman. Look like a fish.
It was good. It was original. It was funny. And the fact that afterwards, after you hear that they tried to urge her to lose weight, and then they end up canceling the show, which I thought was just horrible because I thought she was just so talented. She was so talented. She was so funny. She was so versatile. Um, well, I think TV. I think women in general have gotten a really bum rap, especially in comedy and media. And I think she's just one of the examples.
Definitely. Definitely.
Her and Ellen DeGeneres. I thought I used to watch Ellen. I used to come home and watch Ellen. Not the of course not the variety show, her own sitcom. I used to I worked and I was in high school and I can remember I was like, hey, I'm gonna need Thursdays off. And they was like, why? I was like, Ellen's on. And man, I had the biggest crush on her too.
Okay.
And then when she came out, and I was like, "Don't matter, crush is still staying." Hey, if she don't want nothing to do with me, that's fine. But it ain't the other way around because I think she's still cute.
All right now, hey, we know you over across the pond, but just in case you
Yeah,
tuning in,
just in case.
just in case,
Hey, never know, man. You never know.
holla at holla at Bert. He's a very funny gentleman. Y'all could talk shop.
Oh man, you know what? I would definitely. I don't get starstruck, but I would definitely get starstruck if I met Ellen DeGeneres.
Nice. I believe it. I would too. She's
Yeah, I would
still
be like,
Ellen.
man. And her new special was great.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought her new special was really good. I had to look at it as she hasn't been, but it seemed like her timing was still there.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I thought her new special was really good. I think, and she said it took her a while to develop it, but I thought it was really good. Her latest special was not new, but her latest special was really good. Yeah, I mean, Paula Poundstone, that's another woman who I think should have been a bigger name than what she was.
yeah.
Elaine Boozler was another one that I watched a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Marsha Warfield was a dog in the nicest way. DAWG.
She's still there. Shout out to Marsha.
Yes, I heard she's still and Thea's still doing comedy.
Yeah. The other doll is still out there doing it.
Man, if she's in Chicago, I'm going.
One of the last times, dang, I don't even know if I want to bring their name up because I feel like I'm talking about a comedy graveyard. But when that place was still open, it was like a year before they closed. She was there
Oh, okay.
in the big, beautiful complex they had. So there is that. But no, there's a lot of classic folks from the 90s that are still out there kicking it and just amazing stand ups as they were in the 80s and before that. There's just legends out here still working it.
Yeah, I mean, there's there are some people that are still out on tour that are just man. I would if I could go to comedy shows like that every at least once a week. I would be a happy man. I would die a happy man.
For real. That's real.
Yeah, I would die. I love watching comedy. Even if I never went to comedy, I would just love to watch it. And I think I get a bigger kick even now watching people perform rather than perform.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Like KB show, I felt so relaxed. Like I was like, man, I gotta remember nothing. I gotta remember what order I gotta go in. Man, I can just sit here and just enjoy myself. And even without comedy, there's not too many things you could really do that and not have a lot of outside things that come into your head.
Yeah.
But I probably felt more relaxed going to that special, seeing people I haven't seen in a while. I mean, it was almost like a family reunion and a performance at the family reunion all at the same time.
Absolutely. And I can also say that's another testament to how strong the Chicago suburban comedy scene is.
Yes.
It's not just all clicks and shit talking out here. It's a lot of solidarity out here. It's a lot of people who actually come out to support each other and don't just talk crap about each other. So that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love it here. And there, I could have said, boom, forget Naperville, forget Aurora, forget all this area, and move to Chicago. I can't see it now. I love it out here too much.
Yeah, it's a little Burbs comedian is a little bit different. Um, and I think it's because there's that it's just a little amount of space. Like you get Naperville, Aurora, you get some places a little bit south, a little bit further north. But in terms of distance, we all don't live very far from each other at all. So if you want to hop on and see a show, you can go see a show. And I think that I think they're very I think the Burbs comedy scene super supportive. Not just good down home people. And I'm not saying Chicago isn't, because I met some great Chicago comedians too. But I think the Burbs have a little bit of a small town feel. It's not all dog eat dog.
Absolutely. It's enough spaces and venues out here where everybody could eat.
Yeah,
And it's not even about going along to get along. It's not being overly nice to people and nothing like that. And a lot of people are just genuinely more down to earth out here and more, like, hey man, what's going on? You want to come jam with us? Type of feel.
yeah, I agree with that. I think that a lot of people, yeah, come on, let's hang out, let's do this. You can even do stuff after the show. It's just kind of, hey, I see you, you see me. I appreciate what you're doing. Man, come hang out with us, have a good time. I think like when you go in the city, is when I go in the city and do shows, man, I'm in such a work mentality.
Mm,
I'm like, okay, because I think the sets are a little bit shorter because you got more comedians in most shows. So it's like I gotta make this a tight 8, or I gotta make even a tight 5. I gotta make this a tight 5. I gotta make this a tight 8. So I really can't enjoy it until after I go up.
right,
But
right.
here you might get 10 to 15 minute sets. But then, you have people, oh man, well, if they see you and they produce a show, why don't you come out and do another and do my show? Get in touch with you. And, you make connections both ways. But I think it's just a more down home feel when you are in the burbs rather.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
city is a work trip. The burbs is a fun trip.
I agree. Um, Given that, what are some of your favorite venues to perform in?
Um, Two Brothers is really nice because of that big stage. That's a really nice big stage I like to perform at. Um, let's see, what's another really good? A Busy Riddles is really nice.
Mm,
Just because there's so many people. I think the acoustics is really good there, especially the way they redid it. Um, let's see. There's so many really good venues though
yeah,
that are in the burbs, small venues. I've done a show in Peatone, which is like 20 miles away from me, and it's in a bowling alley. But that is the most receptive audience that I think I've done a show in front of.
nice.
I mean, they are locked in, they are focused, and they listen to you, and they give you a good response. That audience is probably, and I'm gonna say besides my show that I run at K3, but that audience is one of the most receptive audience that I've ever been in front of. Like Bob Franks runs a really good show out there.
Nice. Shout out to Bob Franks. I have not
Yeah,
been
man, shout out Bob.
on. I mean, in the bowling alley, is in a nice little room in the back.
Yeah, there's a bowling alley. Then they got the little bar area in the back, and the door's closed. So like there'll be people bowling. You don't hear all the pins hitting and everything else too. But you can get about 40, 50 in there, which I think is perfect for a comedy, a small setting. You can get 40 or 50. They're tightly packed, which makes it nice too. The ceilings are low, which makes it nice. So the laughs just kind of come back to you. And they are super attentive.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is about that Peatone crowd, but they are super attentive. They're ready to laugh. And I think and that's another thing about burbs in the city. When you go in the city, there's so many things you can do. You have 100,000 choices that you can do in one night. When you go to these little small towns, that's the only game in town. They might have a bar here, they might have a game somewhere, but when you go in these little towns, man, they're looking forward to that. There's some people in small towns that don't even drive to Chicago. They get frazzled because of traffic. So when you get something that comes close to them, oh, they ready. You get the ladies with the cold shoulder shirts out. Guys will wear they'll tuck in their little button shirts up. Man, they are game. And they have a ball because that's their night out.
Yeah.
Probably the only night that they're gonna take out. And
ab-
so they are ready to laugh, they're ready to have fun. That's probably the best part about like the burbs and like some of these rural shows is that when they go out for that month, they having some fun.
mhm. Absolutely. Speaking of which, so Bob Franks runs an amazing show out of Peatone. Can you tell everybody about the show you produce?
Yes. I produce a show. It's called The Damn Tap. We call it the Damn Comedy Show. It's at 597 South Washington, out in Kankakee. And I would say my crowd would rival that crowd too. I would put them neck and neck because I have some of the best audience members you ever could have. I think from day one, my audience members have been super attentive. They're ready to laugh. Um, just come in good spirits. I mean, I've been blessed with an owner of the damn tab that says, you know what, you guys do whatever you're gonna do, and we'll try and accommodate you that way, and we'll have this venue here. Anything you need, we'll get for you. And I've had some great shows there. I mean, the audience participation is great. They're super thankful for having comedy there. And we're super grateful for them having us to give quality comedy there.
Absolutely. You over there doing the Lord's work. And
Yes, because we trying to spruce Kankakee up a little bit. We got a lot of working class people. You see the graphic there? Yeah, that's where you guys need to go. And I'm gonna have a show this Saturday. But we have a lot of working class people. They work, they come home, and that's it. We trying to get them out the house, man. We trying to get them to enjoy life. Kankakee is such a good working town, a good blue collar working town, and they deserve good entertainment. And and myself and the damn tap were looking to provide that.
that's excellent. I am grateful to the damn tap for partnering with you and supporting live comedy and for y'all having a great venue for people to enjoy their night out, especially if it's a date night. Because I love telling people the stand up comedy shows are a great cheap date night. Get your little laughter on and get your little natural aphrodisiac, laugh a little bit, feel a little bit, everything jiggling, vibrating, getting a little, working up the atmosphere. So, yeah, pop in there, enjoy yourselves, and have a great time with Bert Young at the Damn Tap with a comedy show coming up this weekend, y'all. Um, and also the one in Rockford.
Yes, I'm gonna be at the Gold Barn Grill at Rockford too. That's gonna be a fun show. I think John runs that show and he does a really good job. I have a real funny Rockford story that I can't tell on here. The last time we went, but no, I mean Rockford, nice working class area, man. They're always ready to laugh too. I'm super excited about that show. I haven't seen John Bragg in a while, so it's going to be really cool to reconnect with him. Because the best part about doing this is reconnecting with comedians and friends that you haven't reconnected with in years.
Yeah.
So that part I'm really excited about. Yeah, come on out. It's the Goat Barn Grill. I think it's on Main Street. Come out, guys. It's gonna be a ball.
Rockford is definitely one of those towns with a great big main street.
Ooh, bless you.
I, I could smell Rockford. That's what it was.
The longest main street in the history of man.
It's very long Main Street.
You go too far, you're gonna end up in Wisconsin.
Yes, straight to Kenosha. It's crazy. I shout out to John Bragg. I was originally supposed to do that show, but things happen. And shout out to Bert for taking that over, headlining that, rocking them right. Um, my next show, whew, it's probably why I had to sneeze earlier. I am featuring for my Shiro, the one and only Marina Franklin, Thursday, the 18th at Comedyplex in Oak Park. Doors at 6:30, show at 7:30. And I am beyond grateful and excited for this, y'all.
That's a great venue too. I think that's one I did mention, Comedyplex. Boy, that's a beautiful venue.
Shout out to Mara, Sherman, and Christopher, the Comedyplex team, for a beautiful venue. Just like you said, nice low ceilings, great acoustics, and it's got like a speakeasy like feel in the room, even though it is below, and you do go down some stairs to get in there. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
They do everything to make you feel at home in the Comedyplex, and on top of that, they run great shows most nights of the week out there at Comedyplex. So please be sure to drop in at comedyplex.com or marinafranklin.com for your tickets Would love to see you there, especially all my Maywood folks, all my cousins from the West Side that be talking about going to my shows but don't never show up. Y'all need to show up. Okay, show up.
Call them out. Say their name.
But let me stop before I get canceled from Thanksgiving. I do need my sweet potato pie. Well, so this is my favorite part of the show where I ask host feature headline, where I give you a dream lineup and you decide who hosts, who features, who headlines.
Okay.
Your lineup is Eddie Murphy, Rodney Dangerfield, Richard Pryor.
Oh, that's it. I'm gonna have Rodney host because of the energy that he brings. I'm gonna have Eddie feature, and I'm gonna have Richard headline. Cause you can't have a show with Richard, anyone following Richard, because that's gonna be a disaster. I don't care who you are.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You absolutely right about that. As funny as Eddie is one of the coldest ever touch a mic.
Yes.
God rest his soul. One of the supreme goats. And so finally, Bert Young, can you tell us who is your comedy bestie?
That's a good question. I think I'm gonna put out two people here. Can I use two?
Absolutely.
Okay. Um, I think I'm gonna put out Marcus Davis Hendricks is one of them.
Shout out Marcus.
Marcus don't get Marcus don't get enough credit. I honestly say, and anybody could fight me physically on this. Marcus should be doing a show every weekend. He's that talented. And the fact he's terribly underbooked. Every time I see a weekend and I don't see him on a flyer, I'm like, what are they doing? He's terribly underbooked. He's charismatic. He has great flow. I honestly can't see why he isn't booked more. I
He's
just I
professional.
don't get it.
Yeah.
And I think Marcus has been doing this about the same amount of time I have, maybe a little bit longer. And he's just, man, I mean, and he brings it every time he comes on stage.
Yep. Yep. You right about that? I ain't never seen a man miss, and I enjoy every time I see him touch a mic.
Yeah,
Even at an open mic, to see a man crush, he's so fun to watch.
Yes. And the thing is that he looks so much better than the rest of us other comedians too. Let's be real. Let's be real. The bro looks way better than the regular schlubby 5'6", 260-pound comedians that you see on stage. I mean, and he kills it on the mic. I can't tell you how criminally underbooked and underrated he is.
Marcus should be on one of these Chicago vocational shows.
Yes.
Like a permanent cast member. Like he looks all the part for his Chicago PD for sure. Like
he does. Like I still won't get it. I'll get it maybe from my lips to God's ears. He gets booked a terribly ton. He gets booked a whole lot, and he gets to perform a whole lot because I've never seen the comic. I've never seen him miss, and that should be one of his T-shirts. Marcus don't miss.
Facts.
Because I mean, every time he's been on, he's been 100. Nice. Second one. Well, I have so many really good people in the scene, but Kyle Allen, because Kyle is just a generally good dude. And you know what Kyle does that everyone else hates doing? He'll host. Everybody completely hates hosting, but Kyle will host. And Kyle's always coming up with new stuff and he's always in the scene. Kyle works really hard.
Yeah.
And we had a podcast together, and Cal was always engaged. He was always involved, giving ideas. Man, a quick thinker. I mean, he and a really nice guy, a super nice person, and you can't get any nicer than Kyle. And he's a smart dude. So yeah, and I also say too, I think Kyle gets bookings. I think he should get booked more too. I want everyone to get more bookings. If I was Oprah, I spread bookings to everybody. But yeah, I mean, Kyle he does the dirty work though. Hosting is extremely hard,
Yeah, yeah,
and nobody wants to do it. But Kyle's like, "Oh, I'll do it," and he does it, and he does a really good job. He gets the audience warmed up. He makes them feel at home. And he has like a self-deprecating humor, which a lot of people like. And I know him personally. He's just a really sweet dude, man.
yeah. Big shout out to Kyle Allen for being that dude, being a gem of a human being. Uh, Dedicated to the craft for sure. Always happy to bite the bullet and go ahead. And he's just so warm though. Uh,
Yes.
Even when he had, his different phases of the red leather, black leather, white leather. Kyle, oh boy, with the mesh bandana, baby. Kyle being there killing them.
See, I'll tell you how old I am. I remember when Kyle didn't used to wear leather jacket. That's how old I am.
I have been around for Leather Jacket Kyle, and I always love Leather Jacket Kyle because the man comes up there, he ain't playing, and he gonna make
Hey,
sure.
I'm for it. It's like Bullet Club. I like it, man.
Well, Bert Young, it has been an absolute pleasure as always chatting with you. Thank you so much for being here. And where can people find you?
Man, thank you for having me. Um, on Facebook, I am on Bert BERT.YOUNG.7. Same thing on Instagram and on TikTok. It is under Bert Young Comedy, and that's the same tag I have on YouTube also.
Okay, perfectly. Let me go ahead and get that up here just because make sure people can see it. Remember what the man said Facebook and IG at Bert.Young.7 and TikTok and YouTube at Bert Young Comedy. Bert Young, everybody.
Man, thank you so much for having me, Erica. Man, this was a lot of fun, man. It really was.
You're so welcome, friends and family. Tell your folks in Kankakee and the surrounding areas to check out Bert and his shows. Come out for a top-notch night of comedy, much like the one we just got done seeing on Sunday. And again, big shout out to our good sis KB Marion for doing
Yeah.
it.
Congrats for doing a killer set, man.
So, y'all, it's been fun. We'll see you back here next Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, for another episode of Your Comedy Bestie. Be safe out there. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye. Y'all have a good one. Thank you so much for having me, Erica.